We are live, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram for this week's Flippinar. We're ready to rock and roll, so you should be ready to get locked and loaded. Let me add the link and we'll be ready to go to Flippinar.com. While I'm doing that, again, welcome, and share this with a friend or family member, whether on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, to join us live on this week's Flippinar. Adrian, how's it going, baby? Oh, I got you mute. My bad. Hey.
Hey.
How's it going? How's it going? You locked and loaded on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook?
I am looking at myself on Facebook, and I'm about to be looking at myself on YouTube and Instagram. Got it.
Okay, that's what's happening to me.
Got it.
On, over here. But welcome again, everyone, to this week's Flippinar. You can start loading your questions, and AP will be happy to answer them. We're ready to rock and roll here.
All right, let me make sure on Facebook someone just said no sounds. Manuel Williams. I'm waiting for her to respond, make sure she can hear us. I don't see why she wouldn't be able to at this point. So hopefully she can.
Yeah, she should be able to hear us over there now.
Okay.
That'd be good.
All right, guys, let's see here what we're going. She hasn't said anything quite yet. Hold on. I think we're good, though.
I think we're good.
YouTube, waiting. Let me see what's on Facebook, right? I mean, Instagram. We are live. You're good there.
Yeah.
A monkey. We don't have any questions on over there. Wow, what are y'all doing?
I think we got some on Instagram, though.
Joe from Charlotte. Yeah, let's see here. He asked a question. Good question, Joe. Joe from Charlotte says, how far will you consider traveling when you're first starting out?
Probably within, if I'm, I guess Montgomery is an hour and a half from here. Tuscaloosa is less than an hour. Huntsville is 2 hours. I would go in any of those directions, just thinking about my markets. I would prefer to do something in my backyard, but just me, those would be the, I guess, distances I would be willing to travel.
Okay. Hello, Andy from Lincoln. Ezekiel Hulk. Okay, I'm good now. Let's see here. Does the market move really matter to our business? That's from Curly Bell on YouTube.
The market move? What does he mean? The stock market? Yeah. Wall Street?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what he's speaking of.
I guess yes and no. That's a tough question because, well, the way I look at it is I simplify things. At the end of the day, even in 2007, at the end of 2007, 08, 09, when all that stuff was happening, I was in the middle of that, and that was just from me. The reason I lost money is because, I was still virtually new to real estate, and I didn't know it had a dip or whatever, but people were still making money. It's just, I wasn't making that much. So, because I didn't know any better. And I tried to get into flipping at the same time, and I just had a lot of hard money loans out there. So I lost my lost my butt. But with that being said, at the end of the day, houses are not free. Real estate is not free, which means transactions occur for whatever reason, whether purchase or renting. Obviously, if it's harder to get mortgage loans, then that side of the business will suffer, but the rental side of the business will pick up. So, obviously you want to have the opportunity where both sides of it are good, like it is now. But even when one side is not as good as the other, there's still going to be opportunity to make the money. So again, as long as houses are not free or real estate in general is not free, that means transactions are going to occur, which means opportunities are going to present themselves to you and myself.
Right. Let's see here. I have a question from Calvin Compton from Bloomington, Illinois. He's waiting on a customer to sign a contract, but the customer has an issue with the clause stating he is okay with me advertising it for sale. He's okay with me viewing the house only, but doesn't want others viewing the property until it's sold. How do I go about this?
Well, it's if they don't want to agree to your terms, which you can remove that clause or that paragraph. But at the end of the day, at the seller, if the seller is not going to give you an opportunity to show the property, you're going to probably be wasting your time on that particular deal, or it's not a deal, because you're going to have that option to show the property. There's really no way around that in some form or fashion. So if they're not going to allow you to do that, then I wouldn't even waste my time on it, because it's rare buyers going to buy a property without seeing it first. So if that's not an option, then, you don't have a deal.
Okay. From Instagram, Fat704 says, when getting an ARV, do you consider the other properties on the land? He has a seller selling a home with 2 large buildings on the property.
In most cases, no. I'll tell them if you could take the buildings with you, if you're including those in the price or whatever. So I'm basically letting them know that won't have anything to do with the offer or whatever. So now it depends on what type of buildings they are. If they have some value, but a lot of times they don't, and the seller thinks they have value just because they're owning the property. But again, I'll explain to them if you could take the buildings with you, please do, because I'm basing it on the actual house. Because again, depending on the structures and what they are, those buildings may come down.
Okay, stick with Instagram. As a beginner, would you say 5 cold calls is a nice number to start in one of your targeted areas, or 5 in each targeted area? And maybe that's per day. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm assuming he means per day. Yeah, that's some action. Hopefully you're making actual 5 contacts and not just 5 calls, because you can either pick up the phone, make 5 calls and don't get anyone on the phone. So if you're making 5 contacts with sellers a day, that's 150 a month. Assuming you're doing it every day over a 30-day period, then yeah, that's a really good number. That's action. I'm a big believer in that.
Okay. Sydney on YouTube just got his first 100 signs today. Should I put them all out at once in areas where I see other signs, or put out 50 this week and the other 50 next week?
I would do 25, see how long those stay up. I'll do 25 one week, 25 another week, see how long those stay up over a 2 or 3, 4 week period. And then, I would make a decision from there when I would put the others up.
Okay. Again, I'm not getting any questions on Facebook, so I hopefully.
For some reason, it seems like it's freezing or something. Because I don't see us. May have to just keep refreshing that.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. So, because I don't see anything over there.
All right, let's see here. Lart Bart Blart says, when placing bandit signs in the ground, where are the best places to place them?
Well, obviously, well, I like to use that word a lot. I noticed that for myself. It may not be obvious to you. If you're going to place them in the ground, which I don't recommend, but you're going to same mindset. If you're going to nail them up, or if you're going to use cable ties, you're going to put them in the most visible areas. Now, a lot of times you can get away with signs in the ground faster than any other method, but that's the worst method in my opinion. But it's still action. So intersections, you want to take advantage of eyeballs off of freeway exit ramps. So it's all about visibility. The more people are reading your message, the closer you get to an opportunity.
All right. That question that Kirby asked earlier, and we were thinking he was talking about the stock market when he asked, how does the market move? He meant the real estate market. He was asking, how do you really get a grasp of the real estate investment market, and does that hurt or help, and does it make a difference? But I'm also tie that into Kenny Beam's question, who's asked, can you make wholesale deals in any neighborhood? I think that'll go hand in hand, maybe. And I know your answer already. So
he said, can you make deals in any neighborhood?
That's right.
Okay. Well, yeah, I may have to redo this link here on Facebook.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Trying to make this.
Those listening on Instagram, I know you can't see me, but maybe you can hear me. There was a question at the very beginning of the video that I didn't read. If you could repost it, I'll make sure I get to it.
Yeah, I'm resetting everything on Facebook. So to access that, I guess you'll go to the Flipman page, or you can go to Flippinar.com and access it through there. But I think we're good now. So you may want to go back to Flippinar.com, Adrian, and just tap there and go back. Unless you already got it just loaded or whatever, you'll see it. So I might have said there's no sound.
Let's see here.
There's no sound there, so what's going on here? Let me see.
And Justin says he made it, Flipman.
Yeah, you got knocked off of the Facebook, Adrian.
That's all right. I'm coming right back.
Right. Bear with us, guys. Sometimes this happens beyond our control or whatever. So
I'm on.
There's no sound on Facebook. So.
Okay, I'm back. Then you can give me so I can load up.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You are the host.
Got it. I'm back. Jamie.
Okay, I don't know if they can hear us or not or whatever, but hopefully they can. So, but anyway, so what's the next question? We'll roll with it.
Instagram, when doing well, first we had that question about the real estate market. Does it affect wholesaling? And then we were going to answer the question of, can wholesaling be done in any neighborhood?
Well, let me see here.
He said still no sound.
Okay. Still no sound on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Right.
Not still no sound on there we go. Facebook. There we go. No sound on Facebook. There we go. Okay, I think I got it, guys. Hold on a second.
There it goes. They say they're here now.
Okay. See, we're trying here. Okay, boom. Okay. We're trying here. All right, good. All right, boom. So anyway, so what was the question?
Kirby Bell wanted to know, how does the real estate market affect wholesaling, and how do you grasp on it? Does it have an effect on wholesaling? Not
well, again, I get there's going to be things beyond your control that happens. But as I've said before, as long as houses or real estate in general is not free, there are going to be transactions. Now, how those transactions occur may go in a different direction than the norm for a period of time, but there's still going to be opportunities there. You just have to adjust because people are going to move, right? Whether it's through a rental or a purchase. So as you as a wholesaler, those opportunities will exist regardless. You still have to, it still boils down to a great deal. Now, a great deal today may not be the same great deal in 10 years, whether less or more. So, but it still can be negotiated. You still gonna have people that die. You still gonna have people that get divorced. Still gonna have people that lose their job, a new baby, a medical condition, going off to college, tired landlords. All of that still is going to exist. So you just have to adjust with it. Just know that it always won't be one way.
Okay. On Instagram, Fat Stacks, when doing a deal, do I first get the property under contract at agreed price? And do I sell the property to the buyer at the ARV price?
I wish that it was that way, but you have to think about it. Why would the buyer? First, you have to understand. I'm assuming you know what ARV means, which means the house. This is what the house will appraise for in the best condition possible. So that's full price. Why would a buyer, an investor? Now you're thinking about investors, not someone that wants to live there. In most cases, why would they pay full price for it? How would they make money? Just ask yourself. If you can't make money on a deal, why would you buy it? Would you buy it? So to answer your question, not being smart or anything, is that the buyer is only going to pay cash for it is because they can make money on it, and lots of it. So there's a formula out, that I have on a few videos that will break that down for you. But you have the basic concept in it, but you have to understand in the mindset of a buyer is that the only reason that they're going to pay cash for it is because they want a return, a pretty significant return on the money that they're spending, because they are taking a tremendous risk in buying that, because it's actual cash in most cases. Even if it's hard money, it's still putting a name on the line. So.
All right, there you have it, Fats. Well, actually, that was Fat Stacks. Fat 704 says, driving for dollars now seems like all the local wholesalers have already been in the areas I'm driving, because he's seeing a lot of homes in the process of rehabilitation.
That's a good thing. Go ahead.
That was the end of it.
That's a good thing. Don't assume. Don't ever do that. If you see an action, that's a good thing. You just need to do your part. Just like they're finding deals, you can find deals. Don't assume, and don't ever assume. I don't know what city or market you're in. Obviously, the larger the market, the more opportunity. The smaller, the less opportunities. But don't assume. If you're driving for dollars and well, you need to start marketing then. If you think all the deals are soaked up, but that's just not possible. It's just not possible. Timing is a lot of it. You may call someone today and they don't want to sell. The next person call them a month from now and they do, but that can flip. They call them today, they don't want to sell. You call them a month from now, now they do want to sell. So you can't do that. You can't play that game in your mind. You just need to be consistent on whatever method you use in trying to find deals and stick with it.
Okay. And YouTube guys, I got your questions lined up. It's just I have to catch the Instagram ones before they scroll up too fast. So let me get these two in and then I'll jump to YouTube. But on Instagram, I have D. McCone asks, what is an effective minimalist budget to start a marketing budget? He says, most effective market you have said in the past is bandit signs. Is that still your final answer?
No, it's not. Recently closed a deal with a student. He got his money today. We were having trouble getting his money to him. I'm in Birmingham, and I think he's either in Virginia or Maryland somewhere. But anyway, he was willing to do some of the grunt work that I wasn't wanting to do. And what I'm talking about is we bought an absentee list. Where I bought it. Cost me about $178 for a little over 1,000 names or whatever from listsource.com. And initially, I was one looking up the numbers, but it's very time consuming. So I delegated that to my sister. She needs a little extra bread. But anyway, long story short, the set of numbers that I generated is where the lead came from before she took over. But he was making the phone calls. I would find the numbers from that list, and he was making phone. So that cost us $178. So, and the deal, well, it was $8,000. So he made $4,000. I made $4,000. So there you go. So a $175 investment. So we'll just say $180 investment turned into 8 big ones. So there you go. And that's faster than bandit signs, takes a little bit more grunt work, understanding when you're calling people like that, even though you're not selling anything, you're actually calling to hand out money because you're offering to buy a piece of real estate that they own. You're going to get all types of responses from, how did you get my number? You're an effing idiot, to, hey, let's do a deal. And so, and everything in between. So, if you want to know more about that, findsellers.net. That's a part of my course also, the full course. But if you just want that particular course, you can go to findsellers.net to access. So I'm going to say that I'll put that over bandit signs right now with the little time that I've been doing it, just because someone can get started immediately. With bandit signs, you have to order them. Then you have to wait till they get to you. Whether you're buying them locally or they're being shipped, and then you have to put them out. So it's a little time lapse there, even if everything is going the way it should. Whereas with this, you can buy a list today and start calling people today. That's powerful. That's powerful.
All right, there you heard it. Double Doors Instagram asks, I wanted to know, how can I stop a buyer from stealing a deal that I have under contract? Is there a document that I can get him to sign before he goes to see the deal? Not really sure.
The contract is your document. Now, you can go record a memorandum of contract, but that's rare that's going to happen. Somebody steals your deal. Then see, in order for them to steal your deal, the seller has to be on board too. And so that means you have to have 2 unscrupulous people, if I'm using the right word.
Word of the day.
But you have to have 2 people that are willing to go outside of what the seller's already agreed to do. So, you have to do what you're comfortable with. I'm just telling that's the least of your worries. Find a great deal. You'll have buyers begging you for it. Most buyers, they're going to do right, in the sense of not trying to steal your deal because they want you to feed them more deals. You're overthinking it. But if you're just one of those people You can always do a memorandum of contract and go record it at the courthouse or whatever, but that's up to you.
Tying a question from Rod on YouTube with a question from Reps Up on Instagram. Rod asked, how do you get around the do you have a license question? And Reps said, when dealing with a seller, do you identify yourself as an investor or a buyer or both? I find some buyers, once they learn you're an investor, they don't want to move forward. I'm thinking maybe sellers once they find out. So I guess tie all that together.
Well, if a seller asks you, do you have a license? No, I do not. I don't need a license to buy your house. I am a cash investor. I buy houses. We close in 2 to 4 weeks. We pay all closing costs, minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens. In most cases, that answers all your questions. They may say, well, where's your office? I work out of my home. What's your company name? Ty Taylor.
Boom. There you go.
See, most motivated sellers, you may get some, you're going to always get some weirdos. You're going to always get some crazy people. That just going to happen. Now, it's going to be up to you whether you want to try to deal with them or not, or whatever. Normally, it just depends on how attractive the deal is. Sometimes it's just not worth it. I had this old man, he's probably called me 3 or 4 times over the time that I've been doing this. And I guess he don't know it's me because I use different phone numbers or whatever. And he'll call, he'll give you a price of his house. And I'll say, well, I don't know if that's going to work. But I don't know it's him because I forget about him or whatever. He said, yeah, I don't even know why they let y'all people do this. You say you buy houses. I say, sir, I'll get just crazy with him. I say, sir, that does not mean we will buy your house at any price. That does not mean that. Who doesn't know that? So I'll just get crazy with him. It's saying he's been trying to sell this house probably for at least 10 years. But anyway, just an interesting story. You're going to have some crazy people out there now. But anyway. So what's the next question?
How do you work around earnest money on a commercial property?
We get that question every week, don't
we? Well, it might be somebody new that's not here.
Well, I'm answered. Okay. It's all about negotiation. Earnest money is not a law. Normally it's put up within 24 to maybe 72 hours after the agreement has been signed by the sellers and or buyers. But most time the earnest money is put up then. I negotiated differently on when it's going to be put up because I want the buyer to put up, or I may negotiate it where you put up a smaller amount, non-refundable, and then the larger amount after due diligence. So it could just be negotiated. Most won't, but enough will.
All right, from Facebook. Can you use a purchase and sale agreement contract for abandoned multifamily and commercial properties without using triple net and cap?
Read that again.
Can you use a purchase and sale agreement contracts for abandoned multifamily and commercial properties without using triple net and cap?
I'm not sure what that means, but all of them going to need some type of contract. All real estate transactions are going to start with a contract. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Okay.
Might have to be a little bit more clear on your question.
Yeah, clear that up from your hand and I'll reread it for you. Let's see here. Anthony Richardson says, I downloaded your contract, but I didn't see an exit strategy in there. Did I miss it?
The exit strategy is a buyer. If you're saying if you don't find a buyer, they keep your earnest money. But to answer your question in more detail, it's paragraph number 10.
All right. Everybody going to the contracts, go see what paragraph number 10 says. Um, let's see here. Larry Lampkin from Chicago says he got an offer on a property in Chicago. He says, we have agreed on an inspection clause and attorney approval. They want to send me over a contract. How do I handle this? I thought I was to sign my contract.
Well, you have to have a contract in place first to be able to assign it. Unless I'm missing something here, you got to have a contract with the seller in order to have something to assign.
Okay, Larry, hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah. If I'm not answering it correctly, please be a little bit more clear.
Okay. Felicia Milborn. So someone wants to sell their home for more than what it's worth. No deal. But she says they're asking $152,000 because they owe that amount of money, but it's worth $134,000. Plus home needs major rehab. Should I leave it alone? Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, there's no deal there, baby girl. Just think about it. That you say it's worth 134. They owe 152. We don't even have to go any farther than that. But then you say it needs repairs. There's no opportunity there. It boils back down to how would an investor, if that was you as an investor, would you buy it? That's where you have to look at it. And if you did buy it, how would you make your money from it? She owes more than what the market says it's worth. How would you make your money? So to answer your question, just do the math. No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Mosquito wants to know, how do you market a property after it's on contract, after it's under contract?
After it's under contract. Well, obviously Craigslist, that's the new newspaper, and normally it's free if under the real estate by owner section. Bandit signs work really well within a particular area. On higher end houses might not be as different, but as effective. Then you would definitely want to reach out to as many, I guess you would say, quote unquote, we buy houses guys as possible, because some of those obviously are wholesalers, and then some of them are just straight out cash buyers, online and off. Obviously, you can take advantage of bandit signs, but if you just do a search in your market, Google would normally know that you're searching in your market, so you can reach out to those individuals. Another thing you can do is you can if you have a relationship with a realtor, or if you don't have one, you can get one to look up recent cash transactions within an area, and you'll have to do some due diligence on who purchased, and maybe possibly pop something in the mail if you can't find the phone number for them. You can also go to Zillow and do a search for recently sold in and by that particular area, and in that area. And again, you're going to come up with a list of properties that are sold. You can probably you could probably just tell by the price that they sold at if it was a cash transaction based on the ARV and how low the transaction was. And again, you research the property, see who owns it now. Now that all depends on how fast the county that you're doing your deals in, how fast they update that type of information of when transactions occur. So what you may have to do is go back 6 months, maybe even 12, and see who was buying then, which normally they're still buying now. And you can reach out to them again by mail if you can't find the phone number. So those are a few ways.
Okay, let's see here. That question about the assignment contract, he says, I have a contract with the seller, but the buyer wants to send me a contract, Flipman. That was the one that was asking about the Chicago property, and they wanted to have an inspection done on it.
Yeah, if you got a buyer, if you have done the contract with the seller and the buyer wants to send you a contract, that's the way I do my deals. The assignment will occur at the closing table, but you can do however you want to, but I don't promote an assignment fee. I promote a price. And so that requires a contract, because the buyer will eventually know what I'm doing, but when we're negotiating, when I say doing it, what I have it on the contract for, but when we are negotiating, that's not important. You know, if his price works for him, and obviously if it works for me, based on the spread that I have between contract A with the seller and contract B with the buyer, then that's what we need to actually roll with then. So I have a contract with the seller and I have one with the buyer, and your assignment is the difference.
All right. Well, Ty, we have Jody on Instagram who says, "Hey, Ty, I just wanted to say thank you for all of your help. I just texted you the other day about me closing on a house and you helped me out. I closed on the house and made $2,000 from the sale. Dinner on me." Cha-ching.
Oh yeah, baby. Send me a coupon somewhere, anywhere. I'll accept.
Let's see here. On Instagram, Sold by Nicole asks, "I've tested and used so many different ways to find deals. What's your suggestion to streamline and get started?"
On how to find deals? She said on how to find deals?
On ways to find deals, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess similar to what I just mentioned, obviously we talking ad nauseum about bandit signs, but again, findsellers.net is a way that method that I use. Again, that can get you going immediately. A list of 1,000 absentee owners will cost you between, we'll say 180 to 200 in most markets. And you farm out some phone numbers, start pounding them out, baby girl. It doesn't get any more, I guess, attainable or to put into motion any quicker than that. Now, I'm not going into detail about how it all works, but you may can figure it out. I'm just letting you know that same absentee list that you'll buy for direct mail, you know, 20 to 30% of those will produce phone numbers that you can call also if you do the research on them.
All right. Sticking with Instagram, Realtor Edwin, would you start marketing a property with a verbal agreement with you and the seller is okay with you marketing the property?
It depends. You can always feel sellers out. I somewhat do it all the time. I'll hit a couple of buyers up, let them know the area, guys that I trust, I can give them the address. And they'll let me know yay or nay, whatever. Then I may hit a couple other people up and see if they'll have an interest at the price that I'm probably going to put it out there for. So, yeah, most definitely that's possible. But, you don't ever want to advertise the address online or whatever if you do it that way. Yeah, it can be done.
Okay. Aaron House on YouTube has a comment, says, "I love you, Ty. You shoot it straight, no BS. Y'all watch the 200 plus videos and stop asking the same questions over and over." Rudy Pierre is no better. Says that.
You had to read that one.
I did. I'm sorry, guys. But it gives me the opportunity to do a little house cleaning here because you have, wow, YouTube just shot up like 30 questions for me. So I'm sorry. I had to. Okay, but it ties in and gives you opportunity to do a little house cleaning because you have, "Hey, Ty, you always say educate yourself. What do you think of these guys trying to sell their videos about how they have a system? Everyone is trying to sell you something. Should I try or let it fly?" I can answer that. Why? There's 200 plus videos free of charge right here. Watch them. Pretty much tell you everything you need to know. And if it still isn't, there is a course available. It's not free. Nothing's for free. But for the most part, start with the videos. You'll be on your way. Okay. Am I close? Did I do good?
Yeah. You, okay. Yeah, man. Whew, boy. Yeah. You know what? I normally don't like to. If it don't happen, so what? Yeah, y'all can shoot me or whatever. But I was supposed to be speaking, which some of you all probably have already seen the video with Chris. It was the second video from him out in California where he basically did over 400 grand. And since he's been doing it since January, that's the date of this video. And Now he's out in California. One of those was an apartment deal, which was over half of that money. So, but still, just with the houses, he's done over 100 grand, in that time frame. So my point is that, he's just taking the free videos and ran with it. Now, I'm supposed to be doing an interview with a couple out of, I think in the Maryland, DC area. And they did 70,000 on their first deal. So if we can get it in the can Saturday, then I'll probably have that up Saturday at some point. But again, my point is that, there are a lot of courses out there. I'm not going to kick them because even though that quote unquote would be competition for me, it's no big deal. So everybody can eat out here if that's their thing. But because I bought a course when I started, I bought a bootleg version of it or whatever. But it just depends on how you see. I guess you don't know how much actual content that you're going to receive, because I get a lot of people to call me since we're talking about this, and I'm not on the soapbox, but I guess I am. But I get a lot of people to contact me and say, hey, I just signed up for such and such course, blah, blah, blah. And then I guess they do additional research and they run into me. But, my videos are free. And, I have conversations with people and I'll discuss something. And, someone say, just give me 20 seconds of your time, which I know it's going to be more than 20 seconds. But I just got one question and I'll answer that question. And sometimes, just depending on how my day goes, I may get into more detail on that, but I'm human just like anyone else or whatever. But ideally, I'm going to refer you back to the videos probably after one question or no questions at all. The point I'm trying to make here, they've went to a course, paid those guys, right? And then come to me and want me to coach them through it. Huh? That don't work. I can't help if you already spend money. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but I do have free videos. Take advantage of. If you've already went through a course, those free videos should fill in the holes for you, in my opinion. But if I'm going to put my time into speaking to someone, then my time's worth something. I don't know what it is, but it's worth something. So I have a fee where I think it's what it's worth. But on top of that is that, again, the free videos, I guess, have too many examples. I'm getting more and more of it with people. Matter of fact, another guy texted me today. So he just was leaving a clothing with his first $8,500 or whatever. He didn't want to do a video, which I can understand that, because I probably wouldn't do one if I wasn't, into the internet like I am or whatever. I know it may not seem like it, but this is a hobby. I'm cool. I'm sitting here by myself, not like I'm sitting in front of people or whatever. Sitting here in front of Adria, actually. So I guess she's an hour away. But anyway, I'm rambling. So let's go to the next question. I forgot something else I wanted to say, but I forgot about it. Go ahead.
Okay. Courtney says, Courtney asks.
So I know what I wanted to say. I know it. I got to say that. Mm-hmm. Well, this guy on here, and I don't care. All right. The guy texts me and asked me, did I want to invest in this guru? I guess you would call him gurus, whatever. He had to get $100K into his whatever. And my response to what I'm like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? He said, well, I thought you said you didn't want to really, you didn't invest in real estate. I said, wait a minute. I said, you got the right number? So I said, that's all I talk about. He said, well, I didn't know, I thought I could bird dog for this guy and, get you involved. I said, no, man, come on now. And so I thought I was nice with him, but I just thought that was very interesting. He's going to contact me about paying for somebody else's course or whatever, $100K. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. You all might not, but I thought it was very interesting.
Okay. Do I have the mic now? I got the mic.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, the world is yours, baby girl. Make it happen.
I just need to know, because I got to get Courtney question in, because Courtney then already side-eyed me like 5 times. I know what those emojis mean. So I have a seller who is very motivated to sell me a property, but the problem is he wants me to close on the property in 2 or 3 days. How should I handle this situation? I can answer that. That's virtually impossible. You can't guarantee that you can even get a closing date at the title company, attorney's office, wherever in 2 to 3 days. It's a process. That's not fair to you. So, nope.
Yeah, lose their number. If they don't want to give you the time you need or whatever, lose their number. They say, well, why you need 30 days? And let them know, I would rather have more time than not enough. But if they talking 2 or 3 days, you know, they're not motivated. They may be motivated. Let me just say that, but not in the they're not motivated the way you need them to be motivated if they're talking about closing in 2 or 3 days.
All right. On Facebook, when sending out yellow letters to owners, is it okay to put down the offer price in the letter?
That's something I would probably test. I wouldn't do all of my letters like that. I may well send out a percentage of my letters like that just to see what type of response that I receive from it. I wouldn't do it. You want to leave it open, and just your verbiage encourages them to call you to see what you are willing to pay for it. But again, you can test it, you know.
Okay. On Instagram, do you recommend flipping foreclosures and bank-owned properties?
Well, it's a different process to do those. Banks are not going to allow you to assign and or durable close. If someone does that, if for the title company or attorney, probably doing a little something they shouldn't be doing. But there are some methods. I guess you can pay for it through some transactional funding if you have a buyer ready to go. So it is possible. It's just they're going to want to earn this money up front, normally $500,000 or more. They're going to want proof of funds. And then again, it's just going to depend on what type of buyer you're working with on that. But yeah, you can do it, but it's just not as cut and dry and simple as dealing with a private seller.
All right. Evo Investing on YouTube says he has a home under contract for a good price, but my contract is almost up. Should I ask the seller to lower the price or ask for more time? What would you do in this situation?
Yeah, if you're not getting a lot of buyers interested in it, then yeah, you're probably going to need to go back and ask for more time and a price reduction. They give it to you, roll with it. If they don't, thank them for their time. Let them know if anything changes, and you move on to the next one.
Okay, let's see here. Terry from Miami says they were recently driving for dollars and came across a few vacant homes. I did a property search on the tax assessor's website, but the mailing address for the owner is the same. What could I do next?
Well, if the mailing address is the same, you'll try to find their phone number. If no success there, you're gonna have a neighbor on the left and the right, more than likely, and across the street. Go see if they have some nosy neighbors. Sometimes they know exactly what happened and they know how to reach that individual. And so give them an incentive to provide your contact information to that owner. And you let them know you'll pay them $500 or $1,000 if you buy the house. So that's what I would do if you can't find them through. Obviously, you can't find them through mail, but through a phone call by just doing some research. So that's simple, I guess, and wouldn't cost anything. You could get into some skip tracing with some of the sites that are out there, and maybe reach out to some relatives based on what they come back as saying possible relatives, and do the same thing, make an offer to them that, give them an incentive to pass your number along.
Okay, in regards to the 2 to 3 day, the contract that was almost up, I think was Courtney's question. He says that the situation is he and his partner bought properties together, and his partner just had a heart attack, so he can't handle the properties by himself. So should I just try to negotiate for more time?
Yeah, you got to be firm on the time frame that you need. Again, he's either gonna roll with your terms or not. You know, that can be a deal breaker.
Okay, let's see here. What do you think is the best way to get the phone ringing for someone working full time while starting wholesaling? Well,
Um, it's going to depend on how much money you got to invest. Give us an idea what type of money you got to invest in your marketing and advertising, and I can tell you.
okay. On Instagram, Nasheen93 says, "Is there a website to send out a mailing campaign, or how can I go about that?"
Oh, well, um, Chris mentioned yellowletterscomplete.com because I hadn't done some direct mail in a long time in that way. I do it differently. GoBigPrinting.com. I think that's still their URL. They will do it for you also. Well, those are two recommendations.
Okay, I think that might have also answered D. McCombs. I think, let me see on Instagram, locating a seller. I have paid and done free search sites. What is your best practice?
I've done the same thing, paid and free. Just depends on how bad I'm trying to find this individual. So normally those paid sites, they're not that much. Sometimes $1.95, whatever, just to come up with previous addresses and possible relatives. So, and then sometimes I know on IntelliJ, sometimes they offer a 24-hour pass, and you can use that. So.
Okay. Joe Schmo on YouTube asks, how would you go about striking up a conversation with the for sale by owner seller to get the property under contract?
Say it again.
How would you go about striking up a conversation with the FSBO seller to get the property under contract? Same process.
Oh no! I'm confused. Okay, if they have it for sale, you call them and ask them, is the property still available? It ain't.
Don't you say it.
That's easy. Those are easy because they are actively trying to sell it. So you call them, ask them, is the property for sale? All right. How many bedrooms and baths is it? Is it vacant? Age of the roof? How is it heated and cooled? Why are they selling? These are just some questions that you'll ask. And you hit them with the magic question, paying all cash and closing quickly, what's the least amount you'll accept? Depending on no matter what they say, your follow-up question is?
How close to that amount can you come?
No. Is that the best you could do?
Is that the best you can do? Wow. Oh, I got an F today, guys.
Anyway. So yeah, so that's it. That's easy. They're trying to sell it, so they want you to call.
All right, let's see here. D-Boy Sounds on YouTube says, a guy wants me to do a JV deal with him, but he won't produce a contract for me to sign. Should I keep it pushing?
Is it your deal or does he have the deal on the contract with the seller?
Answer that, D-Boy, and I'll go back to it. Let's see here. Trenton from, I'm not sure. He asks, Boston. He's from Boston, I'm sorry. I want to know how I can learn to sound professional. Do you have scripts that I can use or videos to do this? I don't want to sound like an amateur.
Well, actually, I do. It should be a video titled Top 10 Questions Ask Sellers When Wholesaling Houses. If you'll do a YouTube search for that, those same questions I just went through are basically on that particular video. As far as sounding professional, I'm not sure, I don't know if I sound professional or whatever, but sounding like you know what you're talking about is more important. Obviously, you want to use as correct grammar as possible when you're dealing with people, but and then the other thing is don't sound like you're reading. It's always interesting when I have wholesalers or people just getting into business, they'll call, they see one of my signs locally here, and I already know that they're going down a script, so I'll just cut them off, but nicely, because I understand. I was like, hey, just send me a deal. Cheap, cheap, cheap. I don't care about the area. The price just has to justify the area and the condition of the property. Send me a text and or whatever. So I just cut them. But you don't want to sound like you're reading. I think because the most important things on the script is the address. If you don't already know it, the number of bedrooms and baths, is it vacant, and the price. That's really the only thing that I need to make an initial valuation. And then I can get into the other stuff later. But, but that's just me.
Reps Up on Instagram suggests practicing in the mirror. Practice.
Oh, no. Oh, great suggestion. Practice in the mirror. Call somebody that you know that'll give you an honest evaluation. Yeah, just practice. Practice. Practice.
Practice makes perfect. Actually, Rudy Pierre posted it on there on YouTube. If you're on there, top 10 questions to ask sellers to wholesale a house with no cash or credit, step by step. Ooh, somebody is on it today.
Hey, boy, hey, that's what's happening.
After you have your A and B contract done, what do you turn into the title company to get the ball going towards closing? So since you're not the original seller on the title work.
If it's someone I've never done business with before, then I'm going to send over what I call a closing detail sheet. And people are asking me for this all the time. I'm not giving it out because there ain't nothing to give out. I tell you what's on it. So you just go to Word and create your own. Closing instructions is the title. I'll center that. Seller's name, buyer's name. Well, I'm sorry, the address of the property. Seller's name, buyer's name, the price based on contract A, assignment fee paid to Todd Taylor for $17,000 from buyer, and then closing costs. And if the buyer's paying all closing costs or whoever's paying a high risk split, buyer paying all closing costs or whatever. So, and then I'll put my contact information at the bottom. So that's it.
All right, from Instagram, are bandit signs illegal in different cities?
Bandit signs are illegal in every state, every city, every county.
Boom, right. Boom, boom.
That's the end of the story. They're illegal everywhere. But it's so funny during political season, when they want you to vote for them, those same people that are making the laws, they're everywhere. So it just depends on where you're putting them out. You're putting them in the suburban areas in most markets, you're not going to be able to get away with them. So the easy thing to do is to see what signs already exist and piggyback off those. I know we all want to be in areas where no one else exists, but you can test, but I wouldn't go crazy. If they stay up a little while, you put out a couple of more or whatever. But ideally, bandit signs are nothing new. Been around for years. And guys that use them in your market, they already know the market, the areas of town they can get away with it. So those are going to be probably the same areas that you're going to have to place bandit signs, and be okay with getting outside of your comfort zone or where you think you might want to live and do business. A deal is a deal. The checks still spend the same, guys, at least in my experience.
Okay. Shaq Smith, I think you posted it maybe 2 or 3 times. He says he wants to know how much the fine sellers class costs. He's interested.
Yeah, go to finesellers.net for pricing. The reason I will not quote it here is because the price will change at some point. So simply go to finesellers.net and you will see the current cost.
Okay. Mac Music TV on YouTube asks, what is a really creative way of working with a listing agent in your favor? How would you handle it?
Man, you got to have somebody, a listing agent. See, you have to understand they're in the business to get paid just like you are, and you could easily wear them out in a very short amount of time if they're doing what needs to be done. So,
we're off on Instagram.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna hook us back up here. But anyway, so to it just, most of them are not going to understand wholesaling, and so you're going to have to get them to understand what's in it for them, right? And they're used to dealing with the 6% commission or whatever, and you can offer a flat fee. Nothing prevents you from doing that, and just for access, and or you can just go ahead and pay them up front to work with you. I don't know if you have those resources, but you got to give them some incentive to want to actually work with you, because they will easily stop answering your calls if they're sending you a lot of properties and you're never closing on any. And it's not because you're not doing what you're supposed to do, but it's nothing to go through 50, maybe even 100 properties before you get to one. So that's the thing. You gotta get them to understand what's in it for them. So the biggest thing is volume. You could literally, if you all have it going, they could be doing 2 or 3 deals a month with you. And that's money in their pocket. They're not used to that. You know what I'm saying? Especially from one person. Most of them are not used to that. Some of them are, because they deal with investors that buy, straight off MLS, but most of them are not. So, and then you may want to seek out somebody that's new in the game, a realtor or whatever. They may be a little bit more hungrier than some of the more seasoned realtors.
In regards to what to send to the title company, she says, okay, I have sent a closing letter detailing all players, as you said, but which contract do you send in with that letter, A or B?
Both. They need to see that you even have the position, your position secured with the seller and the buyer. You need to send in both.
All righty. Double Doors REI on Instagram says, hi Ty, can you recommend any here it comes. Can you recommend any resources on how I can learn to evaluate repairs without hiring a contractor up front?
Well, I have a video on that. It's I don't know what the title. It may be just estimating repairs.
Rudy, where you at? Rudy, you knew everything.
Yeah, Rudy, find that for us, Playboy. Please. But estimate. I did when I was doing the Flippinars in the other format. That was one of the Flippinars that I did on estimating repairs. So I think I went in pretty good detail on that. But you don't need to hire the contractor for that.
All right. Is it a deal?
And then on the last Flippinar last week, I think I explained it in somewhat detail, but that Flippinar from months ago, it really goes into great detail about it. So
Rudy said, go ahead. He'll find the video and post it. He said,
yeah, Rudy will post it in the comments of this video when it goes into replay mode on YouTube. We're live right now, but when it goes into replay mode when it goes to replay mode after we're finished, Rudy will post it in the comments for anyone that wants to access that particular video. Thank you very much, Rudy.
Sunrays Investments is it a deal? I have a deal on a property in a different city. The after repair value is 60 to 70K. He wants 20K. It's negotiable. I'm gonna put it under contract, but he owes $9,000 in tax liens. It needs a lot of work. This is my first deal. How do I send a contract out of town?
Okay, the first part of that, if he owes $9,000 in taxes, that's what he needs to sell it for you to have any chance of doing a deal on that. It's just basically he's not gonna go walk away and close with nothing. All right. So how you send a contract, you can email is a great invention, and UPS and FedEx are pretty good themselves. So either one of those options. Fax is not off the table either.
All right, let's see. I'm sticking with Denzel on Facebook. How can I track down the owner when I get mail sent back to me? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, it'll go back to what we were talking about earlier on the skip tracing. Again, go back and ask the neighbors, do they know, give them an incentive to see if they would be interested in, if they would help you, and you give them an incentive. If you buy the house, you'll pay them $500 to $1,000, because they may know how to reach out to the owner of the property and pass along your contact information. Again, so you can just roll back on this particular Flippinar here. I sort of answered, well, I did answer that, probably 10 minutes ago. So.
All right, Nicholas 15 asks, is it possible to have multiple deals under contract at the same time? That's ideal. That's the dream. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Oh, you want to have as many deals under contract as possible. If you can have 50 of them under contract, that's what you want. As many as possible.
Okay, let's see here. And Rudy did find it. Flippinar replay, estimating repair costs, wholesaling houses step by step. Boom.
Well, we had to hire you the producer, man. We had to get rid of it.
Whoa. Rudy, I was have to kick you off. Let's see what button.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's see here. Do I fill out my part on the AB contract before sending it to a motivated seller who accepted the deal?
Is he asking before he and the seller agreed on a price, he fill it out? Is that what he's asking?
I'm not sure. You know what? Nicholas might be. Let me scroll back up. If I'm not sure, Nicholas might be just getting started here. Let me see here. But yeah, you're going to have that completely filled out. Don't send anything blank. You need to have it filled out, and you just need a signature. You fill it out for the seller.
Ideally, you'll do it online, and it looks a little bit more professional. It's clear because everybody's handwriting is not that great, especially mine. I actually have a video on that also, on how to fill out contracts online, how to fill out PD. Rudy, if you can find that one.
Whoa.
Hey, but I actually have a video on that, how to create professional looking contracts for wholesaling houses or something like that. But Rudy, if you can find that one, hey, we would appreciate it, man.
May you please give insight on adverse ownership?
I don't know what that is.
All right, Bill. Somebody done finally threw one.
I know. Hey, educate us. I'm not sure. I don't know what that is. So, hey, there we go.
Would MCB Investment Homes would like to get more cash buyers on my list? What do you suggest to get more cash buyers?
Great deals. You have great deals? Do you have great deals? I got to get that question answered first before we can go any farther.
All right, MCB, shoot it out there. I'll respond. Have you ever did a wholesale deal where your end buyers uses traditional bank loans? How did that work out? What did you do?
No, no, that's, again, I don't know everything. It's obvious. You can look at me and tell. But if they're doing something where you're getting paid with a bank, well, let me just say, it's possible. It's possible, but not in the way that you think. Let me just say that. But it is possible. I've never done it before. I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to put it out there like that. But it is possible. But normally you got a couple things going on that normally don't go on. So I just don't want to put that out there. But you won't last long in this business if you need people that need bank loans to get to do deals. You won't last long at all. Again, you may be more creative, figure out a way to do it, blah, blah, blah. Hey, come back and share or whatever. But in most cases, you got to have, you want repeat buyers, and repeat buyers are normally going to have cash. So that should always be your goal.
Let's see here. A house I want to go for has $22,000 in tax liens, but the house is worth over $400K, and it needs work. Do you think I should go for it? Also,
go.
Also, it's owned by a property management company, but again, they owe 22.
He says over 200,000 in liens, or they owe?
No, just 22,000.
They only owe 22,000 and it's worth 400.
Correct.
Yeah, that's if they'll sell it to you. Yeah, if it's a price that works, you most definitely, offers are free.
All right, Rudy did it again. How to fill out real estate contracts for buyers and sellers, step by step. Wholesaling houses. Boy, he is on it. Yeah.
No. I don't think that's the one. Is the one? It shows you how to use PDF Escape to actually. Because a PDF, unless you have Adobe's super duper PDF deal, and I'm sure there's other sites out to do, but that's what I use, PDF Escape, and I show you how to fill it out online, and it just typed in, so it doesn't look like you have it handwritten. So that's what I'm talking about. You're close, Rudy. Just keep searching on that.
Yeah, those PDF modifier softwares are expensive.
Yeah, but PDF Escape will allow you to do it. It's a little. It ain't that user friendly, but it ain't brain surgery either. So, but I show you on the video on how to use it.
Okay. That said, he's talking about adverse possession. That was from Instagram. I guess that question we had about on adverse ownership. Still not clear on what that is. I'm sure that's let's see here. After both contracts are completed, do I take the contracts to the title company or my buyer, or does my buyer?
It would depend on what position, if it's just the relationship with the buyer, if it's your title company or whoever you've been using, but it doesn't matter. You just you'll have to get, number one, the seller's contract over there and some form of instruction, whether it's verbal or written, but the buyer may email or fax his over. So if not, you'll have a copy, you can get it over there. So that's no big deal.
Okay.
We're going a little extra because we had a little technical difference. You cool?
I'm cool with that. I'm trying to get these questions that are David Thompson has asked me a couple of times. Is there anything I need to know about HOAs when wholesaling townhomes?
You need to know how much they are, because those could be deal breakers. Yeah. You need to know what the terms are. They pay yearly or monthly, quarterly, how much they are or whatever. So yeah, those could be deal breakers.
Okay. Felicia on YouTube says proof of funds. Any videos? 25 properties sitting collecting dust. Buyers want them. Let me scroll back up. See, I'm not sure what was she. Oh, is there a video for proof of funds? I have 25 properties that are just sitting, and I have people that want to buy them.
Oh, before I answer that, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and you are alerted whenever I upload new videos. Also, whenever we go live, you'll be alerted in most cases. So if you're already subscribed, you may need to go turn on the notifications. But to answer that question on proof of funds,
hold on, let me scroll. I had to scroll back up because she has posted it quite a few times. I apologize, Miss Felicia. And there's no such thing as a dumb question. It might be a question asked 1,000 times, but no dumb question. She says, I went driving for dollars and found many abandoned homes, 25, mostly foreclosures. I have no proof of sale, but I have buyers that will want them. Can I use buyer as my proof of sale? And then she asked about the proof of funds. I think she meant proof of funds there anyway.
Yeah, she's probably asking, can she use the buyer's proof of funds in her situation? In most cases, no. Unless, you know, in most, they may send you over something. I can't say no. But if they're foreclosures, there are different stages of foreclosures now. If the bank or the lender has not place that property back on the market, in most cases, there's nothing you can do but wait until they place it back on the market. Now, most buyers in your market are going to have access to those same, well, they always, because they'll be all over the internet. A lot of times an out-of-town buyer may be more sufficient for a foreclosure. But again, you can find some local guys that may not be internet savvy and just don't know or aware that, you know, all foreclosures are advertised online. So there may be some opportunity there, but as far as the proof of funds, there are plenty of services out there, but I actually am affiliated with one. You can get access to that at realpof.com. So, you know, watch the video, submit your phone number and name, and then the next page you can access Keith Yackey and he'll explain to you what he offers. So I have used them with some success in the past. So that's the only reason I would put it out there.
Okay. On Facebook, Tremaine has 2 questions. I'll read them both. Have you ever had a student pay you for your services out of their first deal? Second question, are there any extra fees to pay for having the buyer and seller come to closing at different times?
No, I've never done that before. And the reason I get that a question a lot, and so you're seeing this video or whatever, I would be a fool to turn down more than what I'm going to make from selling a course or coaching or whatever to somebody, because most times deals will be more than that. But the problem with that is what people don't understand is like, I got this deal, you want to work with me on it, blah, blah, blah. If you do this long enough, you'll know that you can always be prospecting, but until you get a check in hand, it's not a deal. All right. Now, again, I'll be a fool to turn out more money, but I can't open myself up there with all the exposure I have on YouTube. I wouldn't have time in the day to do things like that. And see, my question always is to those individuals is that, what if that deal doesn't close? How am I compensated for my time? And I say, oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, so it's which I understand, you're taking a risk with me when you spend money with me. That's fine. You know, it works both ways. But I give away the 200 videos, take advantage of what's free. You know, plenty have done it, you know, and I know everybody don't retain information the same they would like for someone to walk them through. But, you know, I can just tell from your level of the questions that you ask me on how many videos you watched. So that's why my follow-up question sometimes, well, how many of my videos have you watched? I can just tell, you know, you haven't watched that many. So you're not even taking advantage of the free stuff. So that automatically throws up a red flag for me saying, hey, I can't work with this person. They don't even want to take advantage of the free stuff. Because I would do it if you came to me very knowledgeable or whatever. But and then another thing is that most people just they have trouble understanding what's really a deal. Again, if I know it's a deal and you present it to me, I'm like, yeah, I might would do that. But the problem is I just know. So I try to stay consistent on that. And, you know, if I'm going to spend my time with you, you got to have some skin in the game up front of what it's basically on what I charge. So, but again, I have the free videos. So that's the trade-off. So the information is there. You know, you just have to take action. You don't ever have to pay me. I'm okay with it if you do or whatever, because I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. But as far as just accepting the payment out the deal, they're not guaranteed. It'd be different if I knew the deal was guaranteed. I'd be a fool to turn it down. But I just know you could go through several deals before you close one. And most people just don't understand it. I know you get excited because the seller is talking to you and all that stuff. I get it. But to answer the question, no. And what was the second part of that question?
Are there any extra fees to pay for having the buyer and seller come to closing at different times?
No, that's perfect. If you need to just have, in most cases, your buyer to come in first, sign what he needs to sign, and then, you know, it's good to go because the seller money is there. The buyer's already signed off. Yeah, so there are no extra fees to do that.
Okay. Trenton on YouTube says he's starting to hear a lot of talk about wholesaling becoming more difficult because of all the competition and everyone using the same marketing techniques. Do you think this is a problem for us wholesalers? And should I be a little different with some of the marketing strategies?
Yeah, you always want to try to be a creative and think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? But some of the same methods continue to work. You have to understand that most people are not going to keep it up. That's what separates you. Just that one thing, understanding that most people are just not going to continue to do what it takes to make it happen. Just being consistent will separate you from everyone else, even if you're doing the same thing as everyone else. But Wendy's sells hamburgers, McDonald's sells hamburgers, Burger King sells hamburgers, Crystals, In-N-Out, don't even know what that is. What else we got? Hardee's, Carl's Jr.'s. You get the point. They all making money. You know what I'm saying? The hamburger's been around forever. Then we're not even including the mom and pops that you can mix in that in any market. So there's enough money out there for everybody. Just be consistent on what you're doing.
All right, and let's see here. There's hi, sir. I'm a property management specialist. I work on REO properties. I have access to about 100 of them. How can I get into this business with all these homes I take care of?
What does he do?
I work on REO properties. He's a management specialist. I guess it's a property management specialist. Might handle rentals for individuals or so. I don't know.
Well, obviously you have a contact with with someone that has ownership of all of these properties. So I'm not sure who's your point of contact, but you need to reach out to that individual and simply ask, how can you buy one of these properties? And what's the process on making an offer? That's where I would start. So you'd have to be maybe a little bit more clear on exactly what you do before I could really answer it, I guess, a little more detail.
All right. Well, questions have seemed to slow down a bit. I think
I see we're a little down on YouTube too. So
yeah, I think I've gotten
so I think we made up for the technical difficult period that we had, guys. So remember, share this video once it goes into replay mode. Access to 200 plus videos on YouTube is real. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. What else is it, Adrian? Oh, you need the course in coaching, flipman.net. My Instagram handle is Flipman, DOTNET. And on Twitter, it's the Flipman, THE Flipman. So, Adria, we will see everyone on next week. We will now be